70 Really?
Yeah.
Not 87. That was my favorite shit. Hold on, shit. Everything was everything was love.
You still done?
Yo, get the fuck out the way. Get the fuck over. So the fuck back. Yo, go. So right. What's up with y'all niggas, man? Fuck y'all niggas.
Hey, you know, everybody's talking about the good old days, right? Everybody, the good old days, the good old days.
Good old days.
Well, let's talk about the good old days.
Just lyrical high real quick. 1993 exoticness. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a second.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the debut of No Running in the Halls with your host, Chavez. I'm super excited. I did a different show. I did a different segment last Sunday or this past Sunday, and I just I felt pretty good about it. It was a segment called "This Is How You Know." We did a sandwich edition for the Queen's Native. Those of you who were with me on that one, thank you so much. And those of you who weren't, join the next one. All right, so today is brought to you by Ceviche Beach, and of course, Bridge and Tunnel Brewery. It is a beautiful brewery in Ridgewood, and it is owned by two of the most amazing people. Shout out to Rich and Lisa. You guys are doing it and doing it and doing it well. So welcome to the DOE edition of my podcast. The DOE edition is oh, hey, look at that. Not only is she my girlfriend, but she's amazing. And here you go. Want to also shout out Fifth Hammer Brewery. Sorry, I was interrupted on that. Fifth Hammer Brewery in Long Island City. That is one ridiculous place, and I mean that in a good way because it is. It's just a melange of different kinds of fantastic brews. Yeah. Sorry, I was at a loss for words there for a second. Anyway, let me get this closer. So, this show today is episode 1, DOE edition, and it is titled Year 1 as a DOE Employee. Now, if you're a DOE employee, a current one, everyone's got a story, right? Everyone's got a story. Everyone has an experience. Everyone has good views, and everyone has bad views. More importantly, everyone has an experience, right? And I think that that happens in any job, from somebody who works in the a restaurant to somebody who works in the retail business, to a firefighter, to a corrections officer, to all these people. Everyone has a story. Everyone has an experience. I, for one, have tons of stories about the restaurant business because I was part of it for such a long time, and I was in, Applebee's and Boulder Creek and Ground Round. You guys remember the Ground Round? Peanut shells all over the floor. To being a certified teacher for the Department of Education. I do think, though, this is actually another episode. I'm giving what do they call those things? Easter eggs. That is one of my episodes for This Is How You Know, where I totally think that everyone should. I totally think that everyone should work in the restaurant business. It builds character. So anyway, let me see here. Gary Malone, shout out to the Ground Round. You know it. Ground Round was a place. It was a place. I don't know. It was a place. I had a lot of fun there. I was really young. Anyway, let's get down to business. So I can't imagine starting this show without giving my experience first, and I'm gonna make it short because I want to hear from everybody. I got a real cool dude right now who just joined us. Who is I grew up with him, but we kind of grew up on different sides of the neighborhood. I knew of him. I knew of his family. You just know people. It's you may not you may not be. I will, buddy. I will. You may not be a person you hang out with, but it's certainly someone you know. He is also a teacher in a nearby school, and he's a stand-up guy. He's got a beautiful family, and he knows a lot. He knows a lot. I relish in his advice and his expertise for being in the DOE for so long. So let's get started. Stories to tell. So my experience the first year, I have to say, in a nutshell, was interesting. Talk about being thrown into the lion pit. But to be fair, personally, I kind of like that. I actually really enjoy the I enjoy the lion pit. I thrive under those conditions.
Go live on Instagram simultaneous.
Go live on Instagram, huh? How about that? Should I do
So
that?
you could talk to everybody.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
Right.
Oh, look at that. The boss is in town. Nice. We'll go live right here. So we're going live on both platforms. How about that? Awesome.
People to your Instagram.
All right, let me just do this real quick. This is on right now?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. All right. So let's get into. Sorry, I've been interrupted. It's exciting to be starting a show like this and having this content. Anyway, so let me go right back. So we in my building, I will say there are interesting ways of bringing in new teachers, and it's not bad. I just don't think it's complete. You're thrown in and you go and this is my experience. So don't nobody. I don't think everybody has the same experience, but we are talking about the Department of Education for New York. So I was thrown in and said, big pat on the tush and says, get out there and do it. Oh, look at this. I got people on here. What's up? Good evening. Jason, what's up? Jay Paul, how you doing? See, I got to scroll down to see who else is here. What's up, everybody? Welcome. So you get thrown in. Not really much of a debriefing. No, I don't know. I guess there was really no meetings with the department that you were in. Those came, but it wasn't right away. Now, as a new teacher, let's go into the finer details of it. You are basically the guy who oh shoot, that wasn't what I wanted. You are basically the guy who is you're the star of the show for whatever grade level that you're in. Your elementary, your middle school, your high school, and you're the star. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Let me fix that. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry about that, guys. Don't worry, next show will not all have all these technical difficulties. So your personal accounts just joined. Did it? I gotta shut that down. Yeah, I saw that, Jason. Thank you. Way to stay in the game. All right, so you're the audience. You're the audience. Sorry, you're the audience. You're the star of the show in an audience full of kids. You got to make an impression, and you got to go in there. And even though you may not, they may not know it. You know it if your game is off, and if you're not ready, like it. And even though they don't, it's still, you know, it resonates in your head. And I know a lot of teachers in my building that are like super perfectionists. I walk into my building and there are people there. I mean, they're out making bulletin boards. They're decorating their rooms. I mean, I know 3 females in my building that, man, they put people to shame with their decorating. Shout out to Katie and Velasquez. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean that. Shout out to you guys. But these people, they, man, do they know how to get on the right side, you know? And so they definitely have that mentality. And you know, once you get in the building, and you got to prep for all these things. So my experience was that I don't really think I had the proper guidance. I was just thrown in, you know, and because I'm a lion, man. I'm a freaking lion. I go in and I'm not a sheep. I don't play that role. I don't go in there scared and timid. You can't do that. I mean, you can't do that in any part of your life. You gotta go in with the mentality that you own this and this is who you are. Now, I don't know if those of you who don't know me, I go in and I dress how I want. I I speak how I want. And you know, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, Chavez, you know, I don't know, you know, with the shaky, I don't know if that's such a good idea. You know, what would this person say?" I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. I'm not, listen, if you have a part of my paycheck, man, if you sign off on it, man, say something, but I really don't care. I really don't. I just, you know, you do you. I personally, I don't have that. I don't have these concerns you do. I don't. I go in because you know what? I did not know this year one. It built over time, but I didn't know. I didn't know at first that I'm here for the students. I'm not here for that teacher. I'm not here for that principal. I'm not. You guys are just coworkers and people who oversee what I do. I'm a proud employee of the Department of Education. So whatever they say, I will do and I will comply. And I love that. That's what I know. But I dress how I have to engage kids every day and a new crop of them every year. And I have to engage these kids. I have to put on. Jason says, remember, students are not your friends. You're right. We do not hang out. But I have a comment for that, Jason. I do, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Andy Shifts, what's good, bro? I haven't seen any content. What's up with that? You gotta make some more content, bro. Change it up a little bit. Anyway, so let me get out of this mic. I feel like you can't see my beautiful face. So I have to engage kids every day. How are kids engaged? Let me give you my experience. If you are coming to work and you look like an adult who doesn't if you're resonating with adults, that's cool. Do that. If you like pleated dress pants and pointy brown or black shoes and a Oxford collared shirt with a tie, do you. I am not saying that you can't. Nor do I have the platform to. But think about when you're in that classroom, how many times do you see your principal? How many times do you see your APs? How many times do you see anyone? Hardly ever. So what does it matter if you how you dress? I mean, your craft. Um, what does Jason say? Sure, still tutoring, and I can't say still tuning in. Okay, so you have to engage these kids, and it's a visual, it's a verbal, and it's also an aura. You put out something. You put something out to these kids, and they'll never forget you. I can't begin to tell you how many teachers I don't remember, right? But the ones that made an impact are the ones that I do remember. So um, I think that it is important that year one that you're engaging students, you're not engaging principals or your coworkers. That's not who you spend the most of the day with. You are there to talk, teach, and engage young minds. And whatever you say is an impact. Whatever you say has an impact on them. And I know this because if you live in the United States, you've had a formal education somewhere, right? And I remember things that teachers say. So my year one was, I'm not saying it wasn't successful because
It's here.
it's on its way. So just be prepared.
Okay.
Just know that
Get my iPad.
this,
Here.
yeah. Sorry, guys. So just keep in mind, year one, it wasn't unsuccessful. It was trying, right? It was okay. Yeah, it was trying. It was difficult. I didn't even know what to teach at first. I didn't even know what the material was. I am a science teacher, and hold on one second. I have a guest spot today who's coming on, and he's hitting me up right now. So text me in 5 minutes. I said try to call me soon because I'm shot from. Okay, he's tired. Oh no, he's tired. Oh, poor baby. All right, let me just tell him I'll text him and I'll call in a few. So yeah, I was lost. But like I said, I'm a lion. So I was out there doing my thing, and I was making up lessons. I went to school. Not that school really did anything to help me. Well, that's another episode, so I won't get into that. But I was just thrown in and teach, go teach. Luckily for me, I have the personality for the kids, and I know this because when I go into my building, the kids treat me like a rock star. I come in, I have the look they like. I have a very engaging personality. I have handshakes with some of the boys. And this built over time. Um, I Teaching material is not difficult. The way you teach it could be, but if you're a science teacher, science doesn't really change too much. Like biology doesn't change, but chemistry could change. But we all have a format to learn from. Again, history doesn't change. So it's all just like regurgitation of information. And as an adult, you're obviously smarter than the average, let's say, middle schooler, definitely smarter than an elementary school teacher, but you're definitely smarter than these people. So you're going to go in and you're going to do your best, and you learn every year, right? And that's the beauty of it, is that you learn every year. But ask me to pole vault, right? You guys know what pole vaulting is, with that big long stick and you pop it into the ground, you fly over the bar. Ask me to pole vault on the first day, and you're like, hey, here's a stick, go for it. I wouldn't know what to fucking do. I would be like, what? I think it's kind of the same thing. Elementary school, after school staff here. All right, there you go. So, Jason, by the way, you're right. I don't think we should be friends with kids, but we should treat them friendly. And whether they know it or not, yes, we're not their friends, but you can act like they're friends. I mean, I think, for the most part, no one's going out to lunch with their students, but you're friendly with them. And friendly doesn't have an end road. You know what I mean? There's no caution tape. So my experience, I'm gonna if I can rate it from a 1 to 10, year one for me, I would rate it as again, this is personal for me. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a mid 5, because I wasn't nervous, and I wasn't scared, and I wasn't unprepared for me. But what I was not properly. I wasn't given the tools that I needed. Most importantly, communication was very lackluster. So I'm gonna bring. Oh, Hey, babe, the food is here. Okay. Sorry, store dash calling. We're coming now. Coming down right now. All right, so I'm gonna bring my first guest on now. I can't go live, and I wanted to mention this to everyone. I can't do a live with somebody until I have 50 subscribers. That's the way YouTube works. So I'm gonna kindly ask everybody who does come on to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio on Instagram on both J Chobs and No Running in the Halls. I would really appreciate it if y'all could subscribe so I can do this. So how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put him on blast and we're gonna hear him. And let's see how that works out. It's a very makeshift kind of thing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So let's get this guy. Johnny 5, here he goes. So there's a reason why I brought him on. So let's do this. Ready? Here we go. He's calling. Okay. Hope y'all can hear him.
What up, Jason? Can you hear me?
you mean Chavez?
Chavez.
Don't be giving my government name out.
Oh, my bad.
Don't be giving my government name. Hey, listen, anybody in here, whether it's Jason or can you all hear him? I hope you can hear him. I mean, I'm trying my best. I have him right on here right now, so I hope you can hear him. Any thumbs up?
Am I coming in clear?
You're coming in clear to me, but I don't know how everyone else sees it. Shout out to the Oh, that was still Gary. All right, so my special guest today is someone that I met about a little over a year ago. I call him Johnny Vic, aka Johnny 5. He is someone that I think is incredibly smart, very talented guy. He too has a very interesting experience with the DOE. So I want to welcome to the show Johnny Vic, aka Johnny 5. Johnny 5, please say hello to our live audience.
Hey, everyone.
All right.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Oh, thanks for coming, man. You're my first guest. You're gonna go down in history if this thing actually stays afloat for me. You're gonna go down in history as my first guest. How excited is everyone?
I'm excited.
Tommy, you could hear him? Yeah,
I'm good.
I think you're good. I mean, I'm yelling at Tommy like they can't hear me. Can you hear him?
He's in the room with you.
Yeah, Tommy's in the room. Anyway, so I don't.
In the room with you though?
No, I'm in my own studio right now. No one's here. Oh, is anyone in the live? Yeah, I got a couple of people on Instagram. I only have. I have a couple. I have one.
I meant in the actual room.
Oh, in the room I'm in? No people, nobody.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm alone. We should grab 2 glasses of wine. Did you have that drink?
I'm having a little wine right now.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah,
okay. So I'm gonna prompt our good friend here on what we would like to hear from him, but more importantly, I'm gonna let him tell you his story. ELA was the subject, and Mr. Vic came in, no experience. I mean, he had college, right? And like I mentioned.
No. I had a year of private school.
Oh, well, would you look at that? Look how great I do research, right? I thought, you never mentioned that to me, so I'm going to give that a 50-50 on why that was a wrong assumption.
1 year is still like no year though. Like, yeah.
It's a whole different ball game in private schools. It's a whole different ball game, and it's not. I had a friend who worked in a yeshiva school, and she said the same thing. It's night and day. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, Johnny Vic, what were your expectations coming into the Department of Education public school system in New York?
Bro, to be honest, nothing. I had no expectations. Because I understand the career is not like something you would go into a school, and I didn't have any, to be honest, man.
No expectations at all. You didn't have a Well, I mean, that's a great answer. No expectation.
I had none, because if you have expectations, then it can backfire on you if they're too high. So I just keep mine kind of like minimal. And just going with an open mind.
Nice.
It's like, and see how it goes.
All right. So no expectations.
Yeah, not really a lot, man.
All right.
Did
So
you have any as a first year?
I think my expectations were that I was entering a new world. This was my first career, mind you. I mean, I worked in different jobs, but jobs are not careers, you know. So I think my expectation going in was, wow, I made it. I have a career. You know, not everybody could say they have a career. Like they could say, oh, I work here, I've done this. So my expectations were high because I was like, all right, bam, I did it. I went to school. I did everything I was asked to do to become a teacher. I spent all this money.
Like, what do you mean high? Your expectations high in what?
My expectations were high because
stuff when you walked in the door.
I didn't know how.
Well, we to roll out the red carpet for the new teacher.
Yes. Hey, I just told you, man. I just told everyone the kids treat me like a rock star. I should get a red carpet, man. You know.
No, they did. Right.
Yeah, Johnny Vick, he'll tell you. The kids, they love me, man. But that's what I planned on. So that was my expectation. If you know what, I just kind of answered it. My expectation was to come in and have the kids love me. I wanted that. I wanted the respect, and I wanted the notoriety, and I wanted the kids to see that, you know, not all adults can be serious and bland and vanilla. You know, I wanted kids to see that, you know, we can identify. I remember what it's like to be in middle school because I teach middle school. I wanted kids to know that I remember what it's like. So when I wanted to go in, and I went in with a couple of little rules. I said, you know what? I'm not going to yell at kids. I'm not going to scream and yell and make them feel bad. I'm not going to accuse kids of doing anything. I'm going to look. One of the things that I don't really like about certain people in my building is they don't ask questions. They just assume, and they say the wrong things. And I'm like, why didn't you ask me first? That's a really grown up thing to do. Just ask me. Ask a person. Don't just assume. So my expectations were that they were high because I'm going into this very, very highly regarded profession. And I'm going into middle school where everyone I ever speak to says, oh, middle school, that's so difficult. Or middle school, those kids are crazy. And I'm like, yeah, let me compare you to both ends of the spectrum, right? By Johnny V, I got middle school kids.
Or they hit you with the line where it's like, oh, you must have a lot of patience.
Oh, that's the number one line I hear. I don't know, GM. Do you agree with that? If you're still on, do you agree that people say, "Oh, good luck with that one"? You know, I think it's crazy. Like, if you look on both ends of the spectrum, you got elementary school, which is dominated by female teachers, right? I literally had two teachers in elementary school that were male, you have little kids like grades K through 5 that you can't reason with them. Okay, you can't reason with the little ones. You're either mean or you're nice. You get a lot of kids they have separation anxiety where they don't want to leave their home. And then you got, everything else. They tattletale on each other. They cough and sneeze on you, and they put their boogers on you. And, it's a circus. It's a circus. It's a necessary circus, but it's a circus. High school, let's skip middle school, but high school, you got a kid in high school that'll tell you to go fuck yourself real quick. As cool as you want to be, as engaging as you want to be, a kid will go tell you to fuck yourself real quick. Like, hey, I don't need your advice.
Especially in the city, bro.
Oh well, that's the only thing that matters because that's where we work, right? We don't work.
City, man, you get cursed out.
My man Bert.
It's probably harder to gain some kids' respect in high school than in middle school.
You're right. Birdman chimes in by saying, we don't leave a circus. We don't leave a circus. We don't leave a circus. You have to elaborate on that, Birdman.
Oh, we got Birdman in here.
Birdman's on. He's on the.
Shout out to Birdman.
Shout out to Birdman. We don't have a circus. Well, no, we don't. We have organization in middle school, but the other ends of the spectrum, I can't see them being any more difficult than middle school. The middle schoolers, they're prepubescent or pubescent. They most of them want to impress you. right? They always want to chat it up, right? They if you mention anything about calling home to a kid, most of them, I'm not saying everyone, most of them will be like, all right, chill. I negotiate. Kids need to learn to negotiate. I said, listen, you have things that you need to do to satisfy what I and everybody else, every other teacher needs. So let's go, ante up. What do you got? Okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this work tomorrow. And you're like, all right, man, that saves a day of phone calls for you. And I think it works. I mean, but I think middle school is the easiest. And I've been to both because I had the student teach and I've seen both. I've seen both worlds. But Johnny Vic, going back to you because you're on the show. When you got there, so now we're talking about when you were there as opposed to your preconceived notions.
Oh yeah.
When you were there, how did you feel? I know this answer is going to be good. How did you feel when you were there? Because let me tell you, audience, followers of my podcast, my show, I've seen this guy a lot, and he looked miserable.
Really?
I mean, until he ran into me in the hallways and we took a walk somewhere outside, this guy looked like he'd rather be somewhere else.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's
like honestly looking back at it, I want to like if I were to rate it like out of 10, I would rate it like an 8.
What? That just totally contradicted what I said.
I know, but if I was actually like back in it talking about it, maybe I would give it way lower because now I'm remembering. Like when I'm looking back at it, I actually remember like only the positive things.
Okay.
You know,
that makes
sense. Figuring out, and like when I was in it, I was just. I mean, I understood the positives, like going on walks with you, like hanging out, like being a teacher, you have security, your job's really not in jeopardy unless you do something crazy serious, so that you're protected.
Well, you weren't protected.
Yeah, I understand that, but I wasn't like really scared of getting like I mean, how much can they can't really fire you. I mean, you have to do something really bad.
Oh no, you're right. Well, when you're tenured, so let me give you a quick story. When you're not tenured, they can fire you whenever they want. Just so
I
you know.
understand that, but what reason, what grounds would it be? I
Okay.
wasn't scared of that. Yeah.
So let me give you one scenario, and it's kind of extreme. I don't know the levels of extreme yet in the DOE that could get you fired as an untenured teacher, but this particular teacher was absent a lot her first and second year, and she.
So like based on that, I wasn't absent though.
You know? I know, and that's what I'm saying is that she
I was learning to play the system, basically.
Hey, right? I mean, you got to play ball, right? So
yeah, you gotta learn the way.
You got to learn to play ball. Now, I'm not saying to brown nose, which a lot of people do. I'm saying that play the game and go out there. You know, I always say if you went into a person's room, because there's a lot of rules in the DOE about how you talk to people and all these things that could be offensive, and it's ridiculous. I'm a Gen X person. I have a really tough skin, and I really don't love it. But anyway, your delivery on the things that you say is everything. Like you could really say what you want to say to somebody as long as you deliver the message the right way. But yeah. So Johnny, you're saying that you're giving it an 8, which is pretty good rating because you basically thought about the positives instead of the negatives. Let me tell you something about Johnny Vic. He's a very positive guy. He's a free spirit, and I admire that year one he was very calm and collective. Not once did I hear a worry in his voice. Not once did I hear him complain. Administrators would come in to evaluate him. And he probably Johnny, what was that like? Were your evaluations good or no?
Oh yeah, those were a little bit stressful. Those were the moments where I was probably stressed the most, honestly, because you got a person coming into your class and you just gotta get used to it. Some teachers are really good when administration walks in and they're just like pulling things out of the kids, and then me. I did good my first one, then the next 2 were like really bad. And they're about to like throw a tip on me, or I was hearing stuff through the grapevine. I was like, shit, I'm gonna get tipped. And for those of you that don't know that, it's like what does it mean again? It's an acronym, right?
I want you to know. I want you to know. I want you to know that sidebar. I recently asked one of your students, your former students. You know who we're talking about, right? The one who you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I asked her. I asked her how you were in the classroom. Like, did she enjoy your craft? You know what she said to me?
What did she say?
She goes, and you just nailed it. She goes, when he was just teaching, he was awesome. But when the principal or anybody in administration walked in, you did a 180, which is sorry, 180, which that's another episode too. But you're there to put on a show. You're there to put on a show. They come in. I get observed twice. And I think I'm a pretty good teacher for what I do. I do special ed, and I think I'm pretty good at what I do. I teach content the way it's asked of me because I have a curriculum that was given to me, and I change it up a little bit here and there. But I think I'm pretty good at it. But when they walk in, I don't change. I don't do that. I don't change.
Yeah.
I do not put on a show.
But that's your first year.
But yes, year one, I put on a big show.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought. That's what I
That's
thought I had to
you
do.
got the nerves, you're the newbie.
I'm the noob.
Yeah.
Everybody's a noob at some point. So yeah, they're
the first year also. So they threw me in the mix, right? You get thrown in the mix.
Shout out CS. Sorry, my dude. Johnny Vic, I just want to do a shout out to C Sir. C Sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Johnny Vic, continue.
Shout out to C Sir. Shout out to Andy Shifts.
I shouted him out already.
So you get thrown in the mix. Everyone knows this. Even if you've been prepped so much, like you're not gonna know what the job actually is until you do it, and then you start doing it. And I don't know, maybe they gave me some curriculum, but I just went completely off rails. I was just like literally teaching them, not even ELA. It was like I was just teaching them things I was interested in. And then, I think the administration, heard it through their grapevine. And then they were like, yeah, we got to teach the actual stuff we have planned out. And I was like, I didn't know this was this strict.
Yo, imagine kids.
I was literally teaching a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad to the 7th grade class.
Yo, imagine a kid knocking on the door of an administrator going, I don't think this guy is teaching the curriculum. Can you get this guy on track? I can't, you know what I can't fathom even more, which I think is what happened to you, because it was their, I mean, it wasn't their job, but I think it was only right. But I think and I don't think that this should happen. Again, I'm a Gen Xer. I don't believe in the same things that go on today. But I think some people might have told on you. I think some people were a little cheesy, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I don't care about that. They're just doing their job.
Yeah, and who's mad at that, right? But in reality, I think. Look, I always say this: if you have a problem with someone, talk to that person. There's no need for you to go to. And when I mean problem, I don't mean like, you got beef with me, nothing like that. I just mean like, hey, listen, we have a curriculum. I think you should stick to it. It's in your best interest. I know you may not like it, but these people are going to come in here and they're going to rate you horribly, because that's the determining factor of what makes you a good teacher. Your 2 to 4 visits in 180 days that says that you're a good teacher, right? And year one, you're supposed to be ineffective in developing, right? Because what do you know, right? You don't know anything. I mean, I was getting great. Listen, man, this is how fucked up it is. I was getting effectives across the board, maybe like a developing here and there first year.
Yeah. And
I think I had a tough person evaluating me, but I think that it's messed up, because I would have expected to be developing or ineffective my first year, even my second year, but I was getting all these great things. Now I could tell you right away that after a couple of years, I was getting a couple of more developings, and I'm like, what the fuck? So you're saying that I started doing worse? I mean, as a matter of fact, I beg to differ because as I moved forward in years, because I'm on my 9th year, as I moved forward, I actually think I learned more, and nobody taught me a goddamn thing. This was all experience. And that's honestly, I don't even think people need to go to college, to be honest with you. I didn't learn shit in college. And I went to a very good Queens college. I just said it. Damn.
Yeah.
But that's a school for teaching. Mm-mm. It is a school for money. They want your money. And I learned nothing. I learned nothing. I walked out of there with a piece of paper.
Where did you get your degree?
So I have secondary education, and my original degree was my discipline was social studies, but I ended up
So
becoming.
you have like a master's.
I have a master's in special education.
I didn't learn shit in my master's.
Oh, same here. Same here.
I learned more in my undergrad than I did in the master's.
Oh, dude, the master's program was even more of a shit show. Yeah, there's nothing you can't. There's nothing in college. There's nothing you can learn. There's nothing you can learn in college that you can't learn on the job. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you disagree, chime in. This is what this is for. Chime in if you agree or disagree. Listen, whether you're in the
what is it called?
teaching fellow.
During your master's, you have to do like shadowing and all this shit.
Yeah, you gotta do
Maybe you learn
observations.
a lot. Yeah, that's when you get the experience.
That's when you would get an initial experience.
You start figuring out that like being in a school sucks.
Oh my god! I'll tell you what, I did not.
And I'm not giving you one thing though. The most like thing that turned me off about working as a teacher or working in schools, maybe not universities, is like honestly, bro, just like the physical like just building and like cleanliness of like the schools. Like I just don't want to be there. It's not nice. You know, it's not like you probably like nice things, like like you have a car, you keep it clean, like you have a house, there's not like crap everywhere.
Nice.
It's like it kind of sucks going into like a place where it's just like, oh man, like this is a shithole.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Johnny Vic, is we're District 25, which is considered one of the better districts. And we we honestly we get a lot of incentive for being there. I grew up. Me and Goldie, who's on our I think he's still on, who's on our live on YouTube. We grew up in College Point, so we were District 25. I'm not sure if Goldie GM, if he went to private school or public school, but I went to public school, and I went to PS 129 in College Point. Then I went to, since now College Point has a middle school, but it didn't when I was growing up, and I went to 194 in Whitestone. Come on, Whitestone. If no one knows where Whitestone is, it's a very well-to-do town in Queens. CP represents C-Cert. 129. Yeah, then there's also a 29. If GM Goldie went to because he was on that side of town. Yeah, he probably went to 29. And then if he went to 29, he went to Bleecker, whereas PS 129, you went to 194. And then wherever you went to high school was completely up to you if you had the grades. So yeah. So your expectations were good. You went in with a positive attitude, and then you got shitted on with evaluations. That's to be expected, but you don't have to. You don't only half.
Like two.
Well, if you have a dollar on you and a drink costs $1 and you only have 50 cents, then you can't buy that drink now, can you?
No, there was one eval where I forget who was in there. It wasn't the principal, it was the AP. And this guy, one kid was like on a game or something, and he straight up just walked. Oh, you're cracking a brewski? I watched you. He straight up walked out, bro. He walked out, and he was, how are you teaching this way? And I was like, all right, bro. See ya. Why the fuck did you walk out?
All I want to say is on that comment, And I guess some people who are on will know who I'm talking about because we just kind of talked about it. But
Yeah.
no tact. I had a similar experience with that person. No tact. Facade with no tact.
Yeah, you just gotta move on,
So you got to move on. So listen. Now that you're out, or on a different wavelength right now. What are your expectations now? Like, not expectation. What are your thoughts now? Is it something? You know what? I'm gonna let you answer that. How do you feel with the aftermath of all of it?
Like I said, like looking back at it, I just look at the positives. Like, I fucking met you. Like, you're head chill. Like, if you ever call me, like, we can always like hang out or whatever, do whatever. You know what I mean? Talk. Like, I feel like I learned from it. The kids. The only thing that
What's up, A-Cat?
was like, I guess the financial like aspect of teaching. If you want to be like a good teacher, I think, or you really have a passion for teaching, you shouldn't be in it for the money at all. It's really just the respect you get from the kids, the joy you get out of like pulling knowledge out of them. That's your, I think, reward for doing your job.
Yeah.
Them respecting you and them looking up to you, them coming back in years and saying, hey, it's not like, you work hard and you get paid more. No, it's like you work hard, you become a good teacher, and you get respected more by the youth, and you get to influence them and inspire them, And I had those moments, but I was only in my like second, third year. So, as a teacher, I think once you get, 4 or 5, 6 years down the line, then you really get to, understand the benefits of being a teacher. And the benefits, like I said, it's not money related, really. It's more of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
It's more like a sort of energy, just good energy that you're doing good work. It's a service job,
Yeah. I completely agree with everything you're saying. The only thing I don't agree with is, I don't agree. It's not that I don't agree with it. I'll challenge you on the thought is that I do actually do this for the money. This is how I live my life. This is how I run my life. I run my life through my paycheck every 2 weeks. But I will say this. Some people say that teachers are underpaid. I agree. I think we should be paid way more. But I think that we do well. At the end of your career, if you're not a millionaire, no, I'm going to change that because I was definitely going to say something that's not correct. Because I was going to because people. If I never have kids, which I will not, and I probably won't do what most of the teachers I know have done, which is start up families, buy homes, and really have a lot of expenses in their life. But you got to understand, Johnny Vic and the audience, is that as a teacher, you have so much money coming in. You have your TRS, you have your QPP, you have, your pension, which is in my tier, it's shitty as fuck. But we're gonna try and change that. I'm gonna start like a picket line or something. But anyway, it's like you have to be like 79 to enjoy your retirement. Like currently, like I'm 45 years old now. Why can't I enjoy my retirement? It's shitty. Anyway, I want to read some comments.
I think it's like 64, 63 or something.
Yeah, let me read some of these comments. So A-Cat joined us. I said, what's up? Birdman says, you don't do that with the fellows. You have the summer, which do some, I can't read this because it's too far away.
I was about to say that, man. Like you can work in the summer and make extra coin if you want.
See, not if you don't do the fellows was a good choice for most people. I didn't do that. GM says that he went to PS 29 185 in Flushing High School. He took the straight route. In College Point, that's the straight route. You go to your zone schools and shut the fuck up because that's where you go. Shut up. This is where you go. If you're from here, that's where you go. Unless you have great region scores and you're doing doing big things with your life, screw you and you're in, yeah, I did the other side of the tracks, GM. I did 129, 194, and I did RFK. Shout out to RFK, Panthers for life, baby boys.
Oh, God.
Yo, I heard that school is such trash right now. I heard that school is such trash. So, Johnny Beck, I hope you stay on for a little bit because I'd like to hear from some of your experience. Listen, this show is for you guys out there. The show is for you. Chime in on your experiences. Tell us where do you rate them if you can. Rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell us, was it good? Was it bad? Did you feel supported? Did you feel like you had everybody on your side? Did you feel like you had the right materials? Did you feel like everyone in the building was treating you well? I mean, listen, there is a laundry list of things that should and could be done for a brand new teacher that some buildings do not do. And I got to tell you, if you're not a lion, but a sheep, and you're thinking you're going to go into a building and meet over 120 kids, let's see, 30, 60, 90, 150 kids, right? You're going to meet over 150 kids. Some of them won't even be your students, but you're going to meet them. If you think that for 1 second you're going to survive this, you're shit out of luck.
You mean alone?
You say it again?
You mean survive it alone?
Yeah. I mean, look, you have to, in this particular field, look, this is what I'm going to say, and this is also another show. We spend anywhere from 5 to 6 years still in D25. Hey, baby boo, that's right. D25 for life, right? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, GM chimed in because we went to D25 schools and we work in D25 because we know where it's at. We know where it's at. You don't want to go to them other districts. You don't want to go to the South Bronx, man. That's a shit show in itself. No offense. Shout out to the Bronx, Gun Hill Road, where Sharon's from. Shout out to Sharon. You're a gangster. But Sharon's gangster. Sharon's my mom. She's gangster. Raised 4 kids pretty much on her own. Kicked me out when I was younger, but whatever. I forgave her. But she's gangster. Anyway, what I was gonna say was, if you go into this career with no support, if you're not a lion, you're gonna get crushed. And let me tell you how many horror stories. And I'm so surprised that a lot more people don't want to chime in and say what they have to say because we would love to hear it. That some people said, I heard this one horror story. Horrible. She went into her car and cried in her car for the whole prep period she had. Said, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I went in when I was done with my first year. I'm going to go ahead and say this. Look, I'm not great at everything. People know this in my building.
Did you cry, Travis?
Did I cry on the inside? No, I was so sad. No, at the end of year 1, I was honestly, I felt very successful. I was like, year 1, success. And it wasn't because I got a big E on my rating. That wasn't what made me feel that way. I give a rat's ass about Danielson. Danielson is designed for a certain type of classroom. It's not designed for every. I teach special ed. That thing needs to go out the door. Okay, that's not a rating system.
Well, they need some type of rating, bro.
I couldn't agree with you more, but it should be. It should be honestly. Look, I don't have all the answers, but I do need answers. But I don't think that rating system can go across the board. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't think it can go across the board. It's biased. It's a little biased, I think. I mean, listen, you want class discussion?
I didn't even read it, bro.
Listen, yeah. Of course you didn't read it. Of course you didn't read it. Look,
You read that shit?
you want class discussion? Right? If you engage them in the class discussion, but you have these little kids, right, that don't want to talk, and you're going to get a developing on it. You tried. You tried. You scaffolded. You gave them questions to answer. You picked on them. You popcorn picked. You did all you can. But if you're gonna get a developing on it or an ineffective, come on. It's it's honestly again.
I didn't give a shit about the ratings, bro.
Neither did I.
It didn't faze me. If I got I was stressed out for a couple days.
What's up, Katie?
I still have my job.
You do have your
It's not
job.
going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
I mean, I would have fired you on the first 6 months.
Yeah, okay, bro.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have fired you just because you're handsome, but you're nice to look at, but that's about it, pal. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Everyone, I'm kidding. This guy is if you guys knew Johnny Vic, he's a stand-up guy, and he's somebody that you can learn something from. I'm 45 and he's in his 20s, and most people they give me this ultimate compliment that I don't look my age, but I am almost middle-aged man. I might have that syndrome where you just look young all the time.
That's a good. That's drinking the prune juice.
I'm a hamster? So mean. Birdman just called me a hamster.
Oh, okay. I never heard that about you.
I've never heard him. I've heard.
That might be semi-accurate.
You guys are a bunch of assholes.
Bro, Birdman said it. I did it.
I know, but you agreed with him, jerk. All right, let's see what Goldie said. He says, if I use the same rubric to rate a sonnet as I did a persuasive essay, it would be a shit. You'd be a shit teacher. But that's exactly what.
I didn't even use a rubric. I had no rubrics.
Yo, Goldie, that was music to my ears, and I want you to know how I appreciate that, because sometimes I feel like I'm on my own plane, right? So my thoughts and my ideas and the things that I say sometimes aren't the popular thing to hear, right? But I'm okay with that because once again, let's go back to the beginning. I don't give a shit what you think, but if I sat there and tried to please everybody in this world, then it wouldn't happen. I can't please everybody. I can't please everyone. And there are some people that are very sheltered. There's some people that grow up in a better house. I grew up in a shitty household. The streets raised me. I don't have your values. I don't have your ways. I don't have your morals. I don't have your religious beliefs. I don't have your political beliefs. That's where it stands. And you know what? It's all. Don't call me. Sorry, GM. I won't. Can I call you GM?
Does GM work at your school?
GM works in a different school. But he's I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that bothered you. I apologize. Just like I didn't like when you called me by my government name. So what was I saying? Yeah, I don't have all those things, right? But one thing that I can say, and I get this a lot too from people, and again, whatever I say about myself is not a direct. It's not a direct thing that I'm saying. I'm saying what people say. I can tell you all the negative things, but that would be fucking boring. But here's the positives. People always do say that I dance to the beat of my own drum. You know what I mean? That I don't care what people, and that's the plain truth. I really don't. I mean, love it or hate it. I can't be concerned. I can't be concerned with.
I mean, you still got your job after 8 years, bro.
9. Don't get it twisted. It's 9 years, pal.
9. I mean, you're not going anywhere.
Birdman shouts you out, Johnny V.
No, hold on. Let me give a shout out to Birdman.
Yeah, I think he called you a hamster, not me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We might both look like hamsters.
Shots fired. Okay.
No, he looks like a hamster too.
He actually looks more like a guinea pig, but whatever.
Oh, shit.
Just kidding, Birdman. You're the handsomest guinea pig that I know. All right. So listen, guys. Please, I'm gonna have another segment on this. I'm not shutting it down by any means, but I definitely would love to hear more from people. Hell yeah, hamster club. Oh shit. Well, I'll tell you what. I definitely wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind it starting a hamster club, but I don't want to be the president of it. Can I at least be like maybe a vice president? I think I'm gonna let or ask Birdman to be the president of that. Sorry, Jason, that's some inside information. Anyway, so I'm not ending the show right now at the moment, but I will say this: Tom Dukes, hamster man from Amsterdam. That should be the calling card.
I was in Amsterdam over the summer.
Oh, I was at Amsterdam about, what was it, 2016? Fucking what a place,
No
right?
way.
Yeah,
It's
I
quite
did.
different.
For all of you that don't know this, I was divorced in 2016, or I was separated in 2016, and I was lost in life. I was lost in life because I was like, wow, there went my whole life, right? Boom, down the drain. I had all these plans to get married. Oh, I was already married, but buy a house and do all these things. So when she left me, because I was a terrible husband, she we split the money, and then I was like, you know what? I don't fucking need this money. I'm just gonna go on a long ass vacation to places that will make me happy. And I actually took a 4-country, 7-city tour with 1 plane ticket there and no booking of any hotels. I stayed in hostels on a day-to-day basis. I was gangster. And I was like, yeah, boy.
That's what you call a Euro bend.
Yo, that was, dude, I walked
I
around.
did that this summer. I will never forget it. Best time of my life.
I walked around with a green North Face camping book bag. This thing was about the size of me. And
Yeah.
I Euro railed everywhere. And it was what's that?
You just went alone. You went alone though?
Alone, B.
Oh my God,
Solamente.
you're alone, liar.
Yo, I had a blast. But yo, we're getting off topic here. This is another show,
Okay,
Johnny Vic.
ask me a question about being a teacher.
All right, so we got a lot of information out of you, Johnny Vic, aka Johnny 5. I want to ask you one last question. Is this a career that you would go back to? And if not, or if so, was it because of your experience year one? Because remember, folks, the reason why I have Johnny Vic on this show today, the reason why he's my special guest, is because he worked a full year, and he decided within a matter of months in year 2 that he needed time to be away, and he needed to refocus, reset, and he needed to do what's right for him. And regardless of what people think, I have to tell you, I love my job. No, sorry, let me correct that. I love my career choice. I was put on this earth to educate kids and to give kids information. That's what I was here to do. I can't think of any other job that I could do better than what I do. Now, I'm not great at everything. I suck at paperwork. I suck at doing reports. All that stuff is I'm terrible at it. Not terrible at it. I just do it late, right? I'm not on time. I'm not time friendly, which I should apologize to my girlfriend later, because I told her that her timing sucks too. So I got to apologize. But let me just go ahead and say, I love the DOE. There's certain aspects of the DOE that I think needs some fine tuning. I think there are a lot of things about the DOE that could use a change, because with time there's change, and I think things need to start reflecting on the economy and how life just starts to progress more, and things become expensive and lives get busier and all this stuff, right? Those are the finer inner works of the DOE that I think need to be discussed. Now, whoever is sitting at those tables with the suits and the ties on, who spent about 5 years in the DOE, maybe even less, who are making all these decisions, I think you guys need to step down, because it's a shit show. And
what do you want them to do, Chavez?
what do I want them to do? Well, first of all, I think we need to see, these are other shows you're bringing up. I'm starting to give out Easter eggs. I'm starting to give out Easter eggs, and I don't want to do that. But I will say this: you say that, and you, I think you just yelled at me, and I'm super offended by it. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Karen. All the Karens in the world. No, I'm going to say this. What do you want them to do? Okay, let me ask you this. I'll ask you a simple question. When you have a crack in your tile work in your bathroom, do you just let the crack stay, or do you try to fix it?
Some people do if they don't have enough money to fix it, Chavez. There's no money
I'm,
in the DOE.
wait a minute. You don't pay taxes? You don't pay taxes for anything? I pay taxes.
Their problem is why they changed the tier system is because they can't pay that much money to people with those pensions anymore.
So you change it.
That's why they changed it.
So you change it and you make it nearly impossible to live the rest of your life comfortably. Is that what you're saying? This is a whole other show. This is a whole no. We can't do this. We can't do this. This is a whole other show.
I'm just saying though, if you have a house and you're making $40,000 a year and you're living in somewhere that's not that wealthy and you have a crack, you're not gonna be able to fix. You can't afford it. Your house is not gonna look so nice. You know.
All right. So when you're fixing it, are you fixing it for the aesthetics or efficiency?
I'm saying if you're in that house, you can't even fix it, and you can't do anything. You don't have enough money. You have to pay rent.
Who doesn't have enough money? The city of New York?
Possibly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on, Johnny Vic. Katie, I don't know if you're doing this, if you're doing either one of the streams, but Katie Lowe says the DOE is misusing your NFTs.
They're better off investing in NFTs.
They're selling them at a low price of $3.99 a month.
Look, you gotta look at it this way too. You might be mad at the pension system because it was so much better. If it was reversed, then you would be ecstatic.
Are you saying that I would not fight for a 70-year-old person if they had a bad pension? I would fight for them.
Yeah.
I would. Listen, I want this for everyone. I don't want this for me. I don't want this for all the teachers that came in last year. I've been in the system 9 years and I have a shitty pension. Oh, okay. I guess my live ended with the I had 13 people on. Yippee skippy. How about that? Show one. All right. Listen, I don't know if this other one is gonna end, but I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Please join me for my next show next Wednesday, where we will be talking about a different topic. And I want to thank Johnny Vic, aka Johnny 5, for joining the show. You truly made this an experience that I'll never forget, because this is my first real show. Well, DOE edition, and that's the reason why I started this podcast. So, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming out who did and joining. We got it off our chests. At least some of us did. If you have a bad experience in the DOE, maybe I'll do a part 2 of this show. I would really like to hear more about some of your stories. But with that said, I'm going to rate this show effective. I'm going to rate my first show effective. If you disagree, let me know. Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the comments. And I'm going to go ahead and say that stay tuned for more info. Follow me on No Running in the Halls. If you need the link, it's in my bio. Jay Chavs on Instagram and No Running in the Halls. I am ecstatic. I am super excited, and I can't wait to hear more from everybody. Have a great night, everybody. Johnny Vic, I love you, buddy.
Yo. See you, bro.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye. Ooh, let me get out of here. End stream. Okay. End.